We are headed to Port Townsend, which is it's less than an hour from here, so it's a shorter travel day, but we aren't going to have any hookups except electric. So we are doing all the things we need to do to be prepared. I washed my hair, I shaved my legs. We're doing the last load of laundry right now, and Phil is outside filling the tank. So we always try to be prepared when we get there. So we're planning to be there for a week, and I really don't want to go to a laundromat. So we're trying to get as much done as possible before we leave. It is 10:32. We are supposed to be out of here at 11 o'clock. So we are going to see if we actually make it. This is our last load of laundry we're putting in the dryer. Phil is filling up the water tank and putting the bike away and stuff like that. So 30 minutes and the countdown has begun. The good thing is, if the dryer's not finished, the place we're going has electric. Well, it's supposed to. We're going to an Elks Lodge and we're supposed to have electric only. They do have water and a dump station on site. But when I called and asked for a reservation, they said, oh, we'll figure it out. You guys just come on in. So I don't really know what that means. But since we're right around the corner, I'm hoping we're the first ones to get there today. So that means we definitely have electric. If we don't have electric, it's fine. I'm just worried about the clothes not being dry. So these rods are really important to us as we're traveling down the road because they make sure when things shift forward and we open the fridge in our new location, things don't come falling out at our feet. So I always make sure everything gets a rod to hold them in place. And the other thing I do is make sure things in the door, especially glass bottles, aren't sliding around. So I'll either put plastic in between the glass, or I will somehow rearrange these so everything is snug and tight, because the last thing we want is things falling out of this part or hearing clanking as we're driving down the road. And if you're wondering, yes, it has happened. Within our first 3 months of hitting the road, we left a gas station that had a really huge dip as we went out the driveway, and the whole RV kind of went back and forth. The door flew open and we had soup in there that went flying out. So it can happen. And we had some comments saying, why don't you just leave the rods in? Don't take them out. Well, let me tell you, it's really hard to pull things out of the fridge when the rods are in the way. So we just take them out, tuck them under the bed, and then put them back when we leave. The other thing we got questions on are these bad boys. And I know for some of you, this looks really strange, but this is actually our RV checklist. When we first started RVing, we actually took these, which are slap wrist bracelets, and put them around the steering wheel. So when we got to a place, we would make sure our setup is done correctly. Once it's done, they all went on the steering wheel. And when it was time to leave, as we completed each item, we would take it off the steering wheel, and then that way we would know it's complete. Well, it's 7 years later now, and we've gotten lazier as we've been RVing, and we don't put them on the steering wheel anymore. But we always use them. So we'll pull them out, and as things are done, we just move them to the side. So this way, we don't forget to remove something like a security camera on the slide before we close the slide in, because that could be really bad.
Ask me how I know.
Phil. If you need your own checklist, we have some free checklists you can download, and you can make them fit exactly what your specific needs are, and I will put a link for that down below. Time to hook up electronics. We have our TPMS that Phil never travels without. We have the dash cam and the Garmin, so I keep Phil navigating in the right direction. So which ones of these do you use? Do you use none of them? Not everybody uses all this technology. They've been RVing for a while without it, so they haven't made the upgrade to convenience. Do you have to have this stuff? No, there are other old-fashioned ways and things you can do, but this makes life fast and easy.
Super easy.
We have 10 minutes left. As you can see, the dryer's still going, and they are not going to be done in 10 minutes. So I'm not sure how long we can push it. You know, sometimes you can stay 5 or 10 minutes over and they don't say anything, but you just never know.
And the freshwater is still filling. So we have.
Oh, that's a thing too. What are we at?
We're over 75%, but we still have a way to go. But the next place we stop, I have to check the filters. I think that's what's slowing down the water pressure coming in.
Oh, they need to be changed or cleaned?
Either they have low pressure or our filters are clogged, so I will check the filters. more than likely it's the filters.
Do we have replacements?
I do.
Okay.
I carry a spare, and
Okay.
once I put those in, I order another.
Now there is water fill over at the Elks Lodge, and they have a dump station, so if we need it, it's there. It's not like we'd have to leave the park to go somewhere else, but you know, you want everything buttoned up so you don't have to do that while you're sitting there. Nobody wants to pack up to go get water. That's just lame.
No, and after 7 years of doing this, we should know by now to do this stuff earlier. So I probably should have filled up water last night when we realized we didn't have any. Rookie move.
That's all right. We're you know, today is a non-pressure day. We're just doing our thing.
Today is
Look,
today.
look, this is real life. This is what we haven't been showing you guys, but you know, sometimes we just muddle through things and just do the best we can and like whatever. It's not the end of the world.
I just told our neighbor that we're 7.5 years into this and we're still learning. We're still doing things.
Most of the time we know, we just don't practice what we preach.
Yeah, well, because you get into a lull and you're just going through the motions and then you're like, oh
yeah, that's right. All right, it's 11:03. We're still sitting here, but the jacks are up and Phil is getting ready to attach the car on the back. And the golf cart's been roaming to see if people have left yet because we're supposed to be out by 11. So hopefully we won't get a finger wave, but we're getting there. Maybe by 10 after. All right, that's it. We're ready. Phil's about to put it in drive, and we're out of here. We are only 14 minutes late. I say that's practically on time. I don't know about y'all.
Yeah, practically. That's a good time for us. We're normally later than this. So
we just never know which campground is finally going to be like, you're late. We're charging you extra for being late. But either way, we're out and headed to the Elks. We made it to the Elks Lodge, and it's a pretty cool place to land. It's only $30 a night. We get 30 amp and water, and it's perfect. It's right outside the main hub where we want to go check out. And if you're a member of the Elks Lodge, this place is open to you, along with other Elks Lodges all around the country. And a really cool thing about this spot is right over here, I don't know if you'll be able to see it, but there is a little trail that goes out right there, and about a half mile down the road is a nice state park. I've hit up those trails a couple of times to get my steps and my miles in, and it is a great place to walk around. So for now, we're gonna head into Port Townsend and see what this little marina town has to offer.
First annual telephone exchange on the second floor of this building in 1903.
There's a ghost story that starts with these stairs, and apparently the builder's son was found dead underneath those stairs. So, and he supposedly walks around and haunts this place today. And now Phil said, I'm out. He's a big chicken. But this is really cool. You can come down. There's some stores down here and just like little shops. Check out the back of this old building. You can really see the age when you look at the back with the wooden porches and the emergency stairs. It's really cool. This is the second live band we've seen today while walking around. I wonder how many there's going to be down here in town. It looks like there's going to be a good night ahead.
Right here in the town of Port Townsend is a memorial for construction mechanic 3rd class Marvin Glenn Shields, and they have a ship named after him, the USS Marvin Shields. He was killed in action over in Vietnam after enlisting in 1962. So that's pretty cool. I've seen that ship out in the fleet. As soon as I saw the name on the building, I knew automatically that this had to have been a hometown for Marvin Shields.
If you're not a member of the Elks and you're looking for a campground, that one might be the one right for you. It is right on the marina. Yes, it's a parking lot, but your views are going to be epic. So check that one out. Also, there's another one at one of the state parks. I've read a lot of good things about that, and I'll link them all below. This building right here is the oldest grocery store in the state of Hawaii. That was my best work.
Yeah, okay, do it again, times 2.
This grocery store is the oldest grocery store in Washington State. So what do they sell there?
Groceries.
I don't know, but we're gonna go find out.
Yeah, I'm sure they've got some only found in Aldrich's grocery store items. So we'll go check it out.
One of the most common questions we get is, what do I do about RV insurance? RV insurance is not the same as car insurance. If you call your regular auto insurance company, chances are you're not going to be covered the way you think you are. This is where the RV insurance shop comes in, today's video sponsor. They're actual RVers. They understand the difference between a full-time RVer and a casual camper. They will walk you through all the different types of coverage so you'll know exactly what you're getting. Agreed value, actual value, and replacement value. Full-time RV coverage is way different than casual camper coverage or coverage for someone leaving their RV in storage for the next year. We've all heard the stories of people losing everything in RV accidents and then finding out after the fact they are not as covered as they thought they were. The RV insurance shop will lay it all out for you so you know exactly what your coverage is and you won't be surprised by gaps later on. So if you want an insurance agent who really understands the needs of RVers, click the link down below or this QR code right here.
So it's very interesting outside. It's all quiet till it wasn't.
He tried another one. He said he tried number 8, but he said the electricity didn't work, so he moved over from 8 to 14.
4 rigs just came in, and apparently they were promised 13, 14, and 15, the sites here. Well, somebody came in right before them and took 14 because site 8 apparently doesn't have power.
No, he's green and white from Squim.
Motorhome. Yeah, C-class.
Which the guy that was in 8 left this morning and didn't report a power issue.
Move back to 8 because you guys have promised
There's
us.
2 over here.
I can't do anything about it until I get off work.
Yeah, no problem. We'll work around a bit.
So now they're in conversation with the guy in 14 who's adamant about it's first come, first serve, and he doesn't want to move now.
You could take the phone over there and have Jim tell the guy.
Yeah.
He promised those to us.
Now they're having a meeting over there at site 14. The camp host said, you were promised 13, 14, and 15. He's going to have to move. And they're like, one of the spouses said, you should take the phone over there to him and let Jim tell him. And then I agreed with him. I said, yeah, that's what I would do. Just go over there and let him do that. Apparently he's still not buying it. But it's like, and the one lady goes, well, we're friendly. And I'm like, well, that's good.
As long as you're not in my sight.
Yeah. So this is getting interesting. We'll see. He doesn't appear to want to move, though. On the way up here, we had a check engine light pop up. And as you know, there is no easy travel day without something happening. So we got to where we were going. It was only about an hour's drive. I connected the iPad to read the Bluefire app, which reads the rig's computer system. And it gave me this code right here. It's a low voltage below normal for the fluid dosing unit is what the code was. So I looked it up, and it seems like it could be possibly the wiring harness on the DEF unit itself. I am a little low on DEF, so tomorrow what I'm going to try to do is add some DEF to it, top it off. I'm going to make sure all the connections are secure, nice and tight on the DEF unit itself. And if just in case that didn't work, I went ahead and found a local Freightliner that'll get us in next Wednesday to see if they can troubleshoot and see if in fact it is a low voltage and it deals with the wiring harness. All right, so now we're going to check the connections. I'm going to add the DEF, and I was told a while ago that to prevent any DEF issues, to keep it topped off. So we are between full, we're about 3/4 full, I should say. So I'm going to add in some of this 2.5 gallons. Let's see how much it takes, and then I'll double check the connections, make sure they're good and tight as far as I can reach them. All right, everything appears to be good and tight. It could be a broke wire on the inside. Who knows? Okay, I know you're dying to know what happened to the 4 RVers that came in and were in discussion with the other RVer. Well, he eventually did move. I think they wore him down, and then the park host finally came back and put everything or squashed everything. So he did move, but it was funny. When he did move, he turned his rig completely around so that when he opened up his door, he came out to the other side, so he didn't even have to look at the other RVers. And I got to tell you, that was one very patient and friendly group of RVers. I stood out there and talked to them for quite some time afterwards. I'd hang out with them anywhere.
Port Townsend has a farmer's market every Saturday, so we added that to our schedule along with a bike ride and a visit to one of the state parks. And guess which one of those we actually did?
Nothing.
None. Absolutely none.
No.
So we decided yesterday, or let me just say, I decided to be lazy, so we didn't do an absolute thing. Everything got marked off the list, and I stayed in my jammies until dinner time.
We both stayed in our jammies. So we just needed a jammy day, apparently. It was gloomy outside. It didn't get above, I think, 61. So it just, I don't know, it made you want to sit inside, snuggle on the couch, watch a movie, and eat cookies. Although we didn't do the latter of the two.
Yeah, no cookies.
Or of the three.
So I did get some work done, and we just kind of chilled, and we made a decision to leave Port Townsend early and head a little bit closer to where we're going to get the RV worked on.
Yeah.
Which I don't know that city. I can't remember.
We're going to I think you call it, or you pronounce it Squamish.
Oh, that's the casino. Yeah,
Yeah.
we're going to a casino because it has full hookups. It's near Bremerton, so we can pop in a day there, but it's going to allow us to do all of our laundry, clean out the RV really good, because now that we have to stop and get the RV worked on, we're not sure if that's going to be in and out the same day, if we're going to have to stay overnight, and then we start trucking it to San Antonio. So we need to make sure the tanks are good, laundry's good, everything's good before we start hauling booty east.
Not to mention I dumped my cup of coffee on me this morning, so I have a stained hoodie that's soaking in, I don't know what cleaner that I have on it. I forget what I sprayed on it, but that's what we got to get taken care of. It sounds like somebody's
backing up,
beating us to the to hookup point, but I don't know where they're at.
Yeah. So anyway, it just goes to show the great thing about this life is you can change your plans, and goodness knows we changed everything this weekend. So we are almost completely packed up. We don't have to be out of the Elks Lodge until noon, and technically it says at the casino we can't check in until 4 unless there's a spot already open, which is what it says. So hopefully our spot will be open.
Yeah, I think I'm going to drive slow. I mean, we only have, I think, an hour drive day.
Yeah.
So I can't drive 4 hours slow, but I'll drive slow enough that we won't get there and they tell us, you got to leave and come back at 4.
Well, the casinos usually have huge parking lots. Worst
True.
comes to worst, we just go to the other side of the casino, park in the back, and just wait for a spot to open.
I know you're at a casino. Go in and play. We don't casino. We don't gamble.
Yeah, we only gamble on each other.
Yeah. Ooh, and on that note, I'm going to go over here before my luck runs out.
As far as Port Townsend goes, we highly recommend you put it on your hit list if you're going to be up in this area. It is a sweet little town to explore with a lot of green space and a lot of outdoor activities. Everything from doing a whale watching tour to renting kayaks to all kind of things. So the state parks here are really sweet, and the town itself has some delicious food, and while we were here, had a ton of live music.